Algebra 1 students, are you feeling a little down today? Well, I got something that'll make you feel good. Some solving proportions. If you don't like this topic, then honestly, I don't know what could make you happy. Today we're going to use something called the cross products property to solve proportions. So here we go. It looks like this. 6 over 10 is equal to m over 5. Now there are a few ways you could approach this. Like when I look at this problem, I see I got a 10 and a 6. I could simplify this fraction. Some of you may notice the 10 and the 5 and realize you could do some work there to make things alike. But what I'm going to use is the cross products property, where we take 6 times 5 and set it equal to 10 times m. And then we can simplify, so 30 is equal to 10m, and we divide both sides by 10 using that division property of equality, and you find your solution to be 3. All right, let's take a look at number 2. Same idea, cross products property. We'll do t times 6 is equal to negative 3 times 7. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this as 6t. And then negative 3 times 7 is, of course, negative 21. A little division. And we get negative 21 over 6. Hopefully you realize, hey, wait a minute, 3 can both go into both of those numbers. So we're going to make that negative 7 halves. We always want to simplify those fractions when we can. All right, so pause the video. Do number 3 on your own and then compare your answer to mine. You can see my answer here for number 3. It's equal to 8/7. One thing I do want to show you is we could have actually approached this problem with a little bit different method, where I'm going to rewrite it 4 over 7 equals g over 2. We could have just viewed it as, let's get g by itself, and we can multiply both sides of the equation by 2. Those would cancel, and we get the same answer. G is equal to 8/7. We tend to like that cross products property, but you have to understand where it comes from. It's really just following the inverse operations that we've been doing all along when we solve equations. All right, let's do some more cross products property this time. Here we go. So we're going to have a 36 times x equals 2 times 3. So 36x equals 6. X is equal to, and by the way, we got to get x by itself, right? That means you got to divide by 36. And 6 divided by 36, I've been seeing some crazy stuff lately where you guys are telling me 6 divided by 36 is actually 6, but no, it's not. It's less than 1. It's 1/6. There's your answer. Let's take a look at the next one. 3 over 12. Wait a minute, I can simplify. Do that if you wish. Equals k over 7. I wish to simplify first. I'm not going to write that as 3/12. I'm going to write that as 1/4. And now we can use the cross products property. 4 times k equals 1 times 7. So 4k is just simply 7. When we divide both sides by 4, we get 7/4. Again, pause the video. Do number 6 on your own and compare your answer to mine. You can see my work now on number 6. The solution there is negative 12. Let me talk to you about what I did. I did a little more simplification this time than I have in the others. First of all, I said, well, 6/9, that's the same as 2/3, so I'm going to change that right now. So I said 2/3 equals negative 8 over b. But then I had another realization. When you have an equal sign in between two fractions like this, when you have proportions set up, you can simplify both the numerators together, or you could do the denominators. So in this case, I saw, hey, I have a positive 2 and a negative 8. Both those numbers are divisible by 2, so I changed 2 to 1, negative 8 to negative 4, and all of a sudden all I had left was b times 1 and 3 times negative 4. So same cross products property in play, but I just did a little simplification to get it started. All right, let's crank it up just a notch here with the cross products property. Again, we're going to solve the proportion, and I'm going to do 5 times the quantity of c plus 3 is equal to 6 times 10. As you're well aware, we need to go ahead and distribute that 5 here and here. So we'll have 5c plus 15 is equal to 6 times 10, or 60. So I'll know then that 5c is 45, and we can divide both sides by 5, and I get my solution of c equal to 9. Now, one thing we sometimes gloss over just a bit is one of the beauties of algebra is being able to take a number like this number we found for c and see if we got the answer right. We have our own method of checking. You could take that number and plug it right back in here, and we'd have 9 plus 3 divided by 10 equals 6 over 5, and we're checking to see, did I get this right? Well, let's see here. 9 over 3 is 12, so 12 tenths equals 6 fifths. Is that true? Absolutely it is. Divide both numbers by 2 and you're there. All right, again, pause this video and compare your answer to mine after the break. All right, you can see my work now on number 8. This one may have looked a little more complex than some of the others we've done, but when you started working through it, you follow the same rules. Use that cross products property. 3 times x plus 5 equals 9 times x minus 1. A little distribution, and then it was just a matter of solving from there. And after a few steps of subtraction and division, I found that, and even addition, by the way, I found that x was equal to 4. And again, if you wanted to check that work, you could. If I plug in 4 here, 3/3 equals 9 over 9. 3/3 equals 9/9. Absolutely it does, because they're both equal to 1. All right, let's take a look at this last slide here. Matthew is practicing to make the basketball team. He has made 25 free throws in 10 minutes and wants to make a total of 55 free throws before he is done practicing. If he continues making baskets at the same rate, how long would it take him to make 55 shots? So what we know is that he has made 25 free throws in 10 minutes. We can think of that as his rate, sort of like the speed of a car. I'm going to guess Matthew's not going to make the team if he's only making 2.5 free throws per minute, unless he just doesn't have a rebounder and he's having to run a long way for the ball. But that's not really the point here. All right, so here we go. And then we're trying to see how long it's going to take him to make 55 free throws. It almost looks like I'm saying feet. I don't like my labels. Sorry, folks. Per X minutes. All right, and I got a fly driving me crazy. I'm losing my mind as I teach you. So apologies if anything insane comes out of my mouth, because I'm going to lose it if this fly doesn't go away. And you can't see it, but I can feel it. All right, so here we go. Cross products property, 25 times x equals 55 times 10. And we can basically neglect the labels. We have feet per minute on both sides. When we're finished, x will be in terms of minutes. So 25x is equal to 550. Some of you might think, oh man, Mr. Hale, I'm going to need a calculator to do this division. And it's not that you can't use one, you definitely can. But I bet you can do this without it, because you know that 4 quarters go into $1. So that means 4 times 25 is 100. You got 500, that's 5 times 4, that's 20. And then it's going to take 2 more. I just did it in my head. Genius, I tell you, genius. All right, why don't you try this last one on your own, and then come back and let's compare. All right, welcome back. You can see my work. I said that 2 pounds for 8 people is equivalent to X pounds for 32 people. And after using the cross products property, a little multiplication, some division, I found that X was 8. And one thing I failed to do on the last problem was to actually put some context. I did it here. I said, well, that's 8 pounds, and that would be 8 pounds of pasta, where on the last one I just put x equals 22. Really, I should have said 22 minutes. Now, folks, I hope that this topic is going well for you, and I hope that as we move ahead, that you'll be happy with the results you've gotten from this. As we move on in our studies of algebra, you guys have a spectacular day. Come to class, ready to work. Let's be happy. Are you dancing? I know you are.